Well, hello there, old man Steve. You know, I thought today I'd talk about when I was a young man because I have a lot of stories of some things that happened to me that I've never thought about in years. But you know, as you get older, I guess you reminisce, and that's what I've been doing lately. But back when I was a young man, back in the '60s, the 1960s. I lived in Dallas, Texas, but I left Dallas and went to New York. All of my friends were in the theater in college and school, and we all ran around together. People wanted to be actors and became actors and dancers and singers and set designers, all those kind of people. That was the crowd I ran with. And most of my friends, when I got out of school, they left Dallas and went to New York, or they went to California. And my close friend, he went to New York, and I didn't have the money at the time, but I saved up, and then a couple of months later I joined him, and we were going to conquer the world. Well, he'd gotten up to New York a few months ahead of me, and he had met this gal, and she moved in with him. So by the time I got there, I didn't have no place to stay except sleep on the floor. And that was maybe fun for about one night. So he had gotten a job in summer stock, and he was going to go away for the summer. And it was upstate New York. And back then, summer stock was the thing to do. But that meant I was going to looking for a job and spend the summer staying with this gal that I didn't even know. So I went to a temp agency. They had you go to temp agencies to get a job, and I got a job with a party decorating company, and I went to work for them, and nice young people like myself, and mostly actors and whatnot, and they did this until they got a job acting, and then they moved on. And so there was quite a bit of turnover of people. And we spent all day with gluing stuff and fixing flower arrangements and stuff for different parties. And after I was there probably 2 weeks, the owner came in and said that he was going to take a crew. They had this big party in Washington, D.C., and we're going to decorate this ballroom for this charity event. And he wanted to know who wanted to go. Well, everybody raised their hand. And he could only take, I don't know, there was like maybe 6 or 8 of us. And I got to go. And we went by train, I remember, from New York to Washington, D.C., and we stayed at a hotel. I think it was a Hilton. I don't really remember. And it was this big charity thing where they were going to auction off stuff, and they had a dinner and a dance and stuff. And then for the mistress of ceremonies was Gypsy Rose Lee. Now, a lot of you young people may not even know who Gypsy Rose Lee is, but you should Google her and look her up. There was a very famous stripper of her day, lady stripper. And the Broadway musical Gypsy and the movie Gypsy is about her life story. Anyway, I didn't know that we were going to get to meet her. Nobody said that we were going to meet her. I didn't have any expectations of meeting her, but I did. She came into the ballroom. Ballroom was huge. I mean, I had never done or seen anything like that before. And we had scaffoldings put up that we had to go up to the ceiling to drape stuff and all that kind of stuff. It was hard work, and it took us I think, I don't know, like a day and a half to get ready. And then after the ball, we had to take it all down. So we were there over the weekend, or maybe an extra day, I don't recall. But anyway, Gypsy Rose Lee, she came in to do a sound check, and as she walked in, she had her hair all up in these big these curlers, and she didn't have any makeup on. I wouldn't have known her if, you know, if I didn't know who she was, I wouldn't have known who she was. And because I'd never seen any movies or anything of her. And she had one of those little dogs under her arm. I call them little yappy dogs. And she walked in, and I happened to be standing right where she walked in. I was doing something, and she looked around, and she said, "Hi, boys, how y'all doing?" You know, something to that effect. I don't recall the exact words. And she was going to go up on the stage to do a sound check. And she looked at me, and she said, "Here, hold whatever the dog's name was." She says, "Hold him. He won't bite you." I said, "Yes, ma'am." So I took the dog. And the dog took right to me and started licking me and all this, and he cuddled into me. He was a real sweet little dog. And she went up and did her sound check, and, you know, and we were all just kind of standing around because we had to be quiet while she was doing all this. And then when she got through, she came back and she says, "That dog likes you." Says, "Usually he growls at people." And I thought, "Oh God, now she tells me." She said, "But he likes you. You're a nice guy." And then she leaned over and kissed me on the cheek. Gypsy Rose Lee kissed me on the cheek. That's a true story. Right there on the cheek. I got teased something terrible about that. Because here I was, this kid from Texas, and I was pretty naive when I was younger. And for Gypsy Rose Lee I got singled out all those other guys, and not only that, I got a kiss. I didn't hear the end of that for days. But it's true. It was a true story. Okay, so that's my story of Gypsy Rose Lee and me. Our meeting was, see why I wrote it down? I don't know what I did with, oh, here. Our meeting was short. It was sweet. She kissed me on the cheek. Oh, Lordy. Well, okay, that's more stories later, but that's the beginning of my wild youth. See you next time. Bye.